ahead on Early Birds.
Michael looks to the right, going to come back left. It's intercepted, and that's a touchdown for the Panthers.
When you play as bad as we played last week, rightfully so. Rightful stone throwers, throw away. I got no arguments, no fights.
We're going to flip the script.
The Falcons look to take back command of their season against their old coach and the Commanders. DJ's in the film room breaking down what Michael Penix and the offense need to do to get back on track.
This offseason, didn't we?
Plus, Georgia and Alabama tonight. We've got your preview. No bloody noses this week, but the Falcons hope to deliver a knockout performance. Early Birds starts now.
Grab a cup of your favorite Joe and let's talk Falcons football on Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Good morning and welcome into Early Birds. He's DJ, I'm Justin. You looking forward to seeing DQ tomorrow?
I like DQ, man. I'm looking forward to it. He was great when he was here. Obviously, it didn't end well, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing DQ, but maybe not doing good things, but
I hope he gets a polite round of applause before the game. I think we can agree on that. Let's get things started with the opening drive. Falcons and Washington Commanders tomorrow afternoon. And DJ, we'll start with the offense. Shut out last week against Carolina. So where do they start the turnaround?
Justin, that is a loaded question. They can start a lot of ways, but I think you have to start with just being efficient. There were a lot of things that happened in the ball game that you were very ineffective with, whether it was throwing, whether it was procedural things. All those things come in hand, and you have to make sure from day one, from snap one, you're being efficient with the football and taking care of it.
Here's how Michael Penix Jr. is going to approach this game.
You know, putting up 0 points is tough. You know, it's tough sledding for the offense, and you know nobody likes that. But at the end of the day, you know that's week 3. We got a whole season ahead of us, and we got to come ready to play this week and for the rest of the season. So that's what our focus is right now, and you know just always continue to remember, like you can't change the past. You know, you got to move on and find a way to get better.
As we continue on the opening drive, we mentioned him a moment ago, Dan Quinn coming back to Atlanta to see his old team. DQ, of course, coached the Falcons from 2015 to 2020, was let go during that 2020 season. He did beat the Falcons last year in D.C., but you think this is going to still be emotional?
Oh, absolutely. When you spend time in a place like I say here, you have a chance to build up some of that momentum, but you also build up some of the things that you remember, the people, you remember the environment, you remember all those things that make you have a warm feeling about the place. I'm sure he wants more than anything to beat the Atlanta Falcons, but it will be, hopefully, a warm welcome for him, but not too much. Here's DQ on facing the Falcons.
Well, it's not like a return to one go. We've played them, last year and, done it other times before. But I always have, huge gratitude for Arthur Blank, his family, and, giving me the opportunity to do that. But past that, it's for the guys in between the white lines. So we'll be ready to battle, too.
No surprise, a lot of nice things to say from Coach Quinn. And as we wrap up the opening drive, Falcons actually have the second best defense against the run through 3 games. Really good so far. And DJ, you feel like they're going to need it tomorrow.
Yeah, they got a 3-headed monster that can run the football. They got 3 guys who can do it in multiple ways. But this is going to be an offense that can run the football. But you also got to count the quarterback a part of it. He is a big part of their run game as well. Add that to their backs. The Falcons defense has to be on their P's and Q's, and you can't let them have a two-way go throwing it and running.
It'll be a challenge tomorrow against the Washington Commanders. Welcome into Early Birds alongside DJ Shockley. I'm Justin Felder, and it's a big game because of where this team stands. Tough one last weekend. You're going to have an extra week to think about this one, and it doesn't get any easier after the bye week.
And that's what comes to mind for me is you got only have 2 weeks to think about it. You don't want to sit on a loss in the bye week. And obviously, this is an NFC game.
Yeah.
You think about later down the season, you're playing well. You don't want these games to come back to haunt you.
Already with a couple NFC losses, Falcons don't want to make it another one tomorrow. Shock, thank you very much. Michael Penix Jr. talked during camp about his chemistry with Kyle Pitts. The QB has been looking the way of the tight end. Pitts has 15 catches through the first 3 games. It was KP and KP this week as our Kelly Price sat down with Kyle Pitts.
No wide receiver or tight end yourself has caught a touchdown in this season yet. What's behind that from your point of view?
I would just say just getting down there, getting close to it, or not even getting in the red zone, but just things that we can do better as offense, and we'll make sure that this week coming up we hopefully get our first one.
How can you change that?
Just honing in on the details. That's a major part in this game. Everybody knowing the small details, and from snap count to alignment to execution, and all of that will help us get down to the red zone and score.
This past week, Penix, everyone has talked about the miscommunication issues with the headset and everything like that. Take me inside a huddle when you are trying to listen to the play call that he's trying to give you guys, but maybe he didn't get the full thing, or there's kind of just miscommunication there. What is that like from your perspective when that happens?
It's kind of like a play is in different segments. You have motions,
right,
your formation, your concept, and then your snap count. I'm only listening for, I'm as a tight end listening for everything, which is motion, formation, and concept. But other people listen for different things. But it was unfortunate I think maybe this mic was going out, I think they were saying. And just getting out and just running our base play, that's something that we had to do. And we're going to go through that during the season with the mic. It's not perfect, so it's something that we have to just adapt to.
What can you guys do as players around a young quarterback to kind of help him in those moments? Because obviously that kind of maybe can create a domino effect for him if he's trying to rush and get that, and then you're trying to rush to get to the line of scrimmage, and he's trying to make sure everyone's in the right place, and then he's trying to read the defense and what they're maybe giving him. Like, how can you guys help him streamline that process when it gets kind of crazy like that?
Yeah, definitely, especially in those, as a conference game or like a primetime game, is loud, so you have to,
right,
just if things don't go as planned, with the mic, then you just go back to your base plays, and then everyone knows those.
I know you said after the game on Sunday, these first 3 games aren't going to define us. What do you feel like the identity is of this team forming right now, and maybe just of the offense? What is that identity right now?
That we play for each other, one another, and we just look. Our camaraderie is at an all-time high. I feel like the highest I've been a part of, and we hang out a lot. Just playing for each other and knowing that we all have the same common goal. It's pretty cool, and just gotta fight to get in the end zone.
Great insight there from Kyle Pitts. Back to the Falcons in a bit, but it is a huge college football day ahead, headlined by Georgia and Alabama. Michael Jenkins will be here for a preview next. Plus,
they texted in our team group chat, like, please don't go buy a private jet.
Yeah, we've all got the don't go out and buy a PJ text on a whim, right? Former High Five star will tell you his welcome to the NFL moment. That's when we go deep.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of your Atlanta Falcons, and sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And the Home Depot, how doers get more done. More Early Birds coming back at you. Early Birds. It's not Saturday down south without talking college football. Get ready to fire up the grill. Here's Shock.
You just heard Justin talk about it. Michael Jenkins is in the building to talk. A huge day of college football, Jake. I mean, we got so many big games on the horizon today. Do you still get excited for these games, like, as a fan? Like, how we used to play?
Yes. I want to hurry up and get home right now so I can watch all these games. Don't bother me all day.
You got a favorite of the day? Hold on, we'll wait, because we about to talk about a few of them right now. First big game of the day goes down in Oxford, Mississippi at 3:30 as the Rebels host the Tigers of LSU. Already been some interesting things transpired, Jake, this week with Lane Kiffin's daughter.
How about that?
Dating LSU star linebacker Wes Weeks. That's interesting in his own right. Yeah. But, Jake, for you, what is the key for both teams in this game if they want to stay undefeated?
No turnovers.
Yeah.
Whoever commit less penalties, less turnovers, less mistakes. And LSU for me, like, the win against Clemson now doesn't seem like as big.
Right,
you kind of struggle with Florida only scoring 20 and you have 5 picks, so their defense is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But can Nussmeier and that offense get going on the road at Ole Miss? We'll find out.
Do you think Lane goes after West at all in this ball game?
Oh, he might be trying to go at Mr. Weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Will he go after Weeks in all this ball game?
Here's
Lane Kiffin always makes LSU's quarterback Garrett Nussmeier so good.
Nussmeier does a great job of getting out of trouble and really quick feet and moving around. And he saved the game last year. Perkins has him to go to 4th and 24 or something, and he gets out of that. That probably would have ended the game. So he did a phenomenal job saving that game last year. Really great, savvy player.
All right, Jake, we got 2 big ones in the nightcap going down at 7:30. A pivotal matchup in Happy Valley where we got Oregon traveling to Penn State, and there will be tons of big-time players in the game. Oh, yeah. And one to watch for tonight is Oregon running back Noah Winnington. Now, he's our made-in-Georgia player from Peach County down in Fort Valley, Georgia, where he excelled as one of the top players in the state. Noah, a senior, has 14 carries for 159 yards and is averaging 11 yards a carry with 2 tubs, Jake, so he's getting it done. But, Jake, when we think about James Franklin, I want to ask you about them at Penn State. Their lack of success against top 10 teams, do they finally get on that hump, and does it come down to their QB Drew Aller and what's probably going to be a whiteout, right?
It's definitely going to be a whiteout. I want to say they've won 1-11, lost 6 when it's been a whiteout, so it's still kind of in their favor. But I think it kind of falls off of Drew Aller and goes to that running game and controlling the running game against that high-powered Dante Moore Oregon offense that nobody's really talking about. And so even last year, I mean, these teams, it was a track race where 1,000 yards, 100 points almost. So it's going to be an exciting game.
Penn State get it done, or you think Oregon's still too much? Ooh, tough call, right?
That's a tough call.
Yeah, I got you. All right, here's Ducks head coach Dan Lanning, who talks about the whiteout and environment his team will see tonight.
We've played in good environments before. They've described it as it's a good one, right? And that's part of what makes college football fun. Is it's a real one to get to go play in. Like, we've got a great atmosphere here. It's been an asset for us. I'm sure they're counting on it being an asset for them. But again, play the game, not the occasion.
The game, not the occasion.
I like
that.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, the other one I think everybody's going to be watching, I'm going to be here tonight. I can't wait for it. It's my Dogs in Athens taking on Crimson Tide of Alabama. Lots of fruit on this tree, Jake. For you, where do your eyes go when watching this one, and who you think has the advantage? Because this is going to be a good one, I think.
Real quick, how you feeling?
I feel good. I ain't going to lie. I feel good about it.
All right. Well, hey, Gunnar Stockton, I think he's going to feed off that momentum from winning at Tennessee.
True.
Coming back, I think that helps build his confidence. And so I think he plays well. Both of these teams are going to be tested. No matter what, it's always a thrilling game. Obviously, Alabama got you guys last year, but then they went on and lost to Vandy right
No doubt, right.
So I'm just excited to see these teams go at it. It's always comes down to a 3-point, 7-point type game, one-score game. And so we'll see. Like earlier, like I said, whoever makes the less mistakes will win this game.
Jake, who you got? Tell me right now. I need to know.
I'm going with the Dogs.
Let's go. Let's go. Here's Kirby Smart on the importance of winning big games like this at home.
You got to win your games at home. We found that to win championship games, our championship SEC teams come through winning your home games, and we got to do that first. You got to defend your own turf. It's a great opportunity to play on a big stage, and we got to go out and perform. Our crowd can have a huge impact in this game if it's hard for them to snap and communicate down the line.
Jake, you are now a dog fans love you. You are in the family now.
That's the only time I'm a Bark.
Oh, it's all good. Jake, appreciate the time, man. Can't wait for all these games tonight. Should be fun. Justin, a lot of great games on the docket today. Which one of them has your interest or intrigues you the most?
I've been intrigued by you guys taking a week off from picking on Florida. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the nightcap tonight, Georgia and Alabama. I'm glad to hear, DJ, you're feeling good. That should be a really fun one tonight. Great stuff, guys. Well, every week on Goin Deep, we ask a Falcons player, what was your welcome to the NFL moment? For JD Bertrand, his welcome was a welcome home. Grew up in Atlanta, went to Blessed Trinity. JD tells in this week's Goin Deep.
But that screen goes absolutely nowhere. JD Bertrand.
The swing it out underneath, and the stop by JD Bertrand denied.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Second down, and Daniels, pressure, forcing him off the spot. JD Bertrand.
I don't know. I've struggled with that on the field. Like, there's definitely been some hits. I'm like, whoa. And I got a penalty, and I was like down on myself. But I think last year we actually had some flight delays, and it's not really a typical welcome to the NFL moment, but we had some flight delays, and they texted in our team group chat like, please don't go buy a private jet to get here. And like, for me, that like didn't even cross my mind. But I guess for some guys that was an option to buy a private jet, and so I guess for me that was like, wow, like welcome to the NFL. Some guys have some money to be able to spend on a private jet.
Yeah, you don't need to buy one. Just borrow DJ's private jet. You're good. More to come on Early Bird. Shock will take you inside the film room, give you an example of a play that could help Atlanta's offense get back on track. That's next on Early Birds.
Made in Georgia is presented by Chick-fil-A. We're getting your Saturday started right. Early Birds is back in a moment. It's time to get some game intel from Shock. You're invited into the film room. So cut the lights and let's get started.
Now, I know it wasn't a lot of things to be excited about on the offensive side of the ball last week, but there were a few things in the ball game that I think can help this offense kind of stay on track, but also just find ways to get their guys the football in space. This is going to be a simple, what we call, extension of the run game. Just a toss out here to Bijan, but you got guys on the outside who are blocking as well. You're going to have Kyle blocking on the perimeter. You're going to have Drake out here blocking on the perimeter. Then you're going to get Ray, who's coming in motion, and he's going to block on the perimeter as well. This is an easy way to get Bijan the ball in space. This is 3rd and 3, get him out in space, and you know he can make guys miss, but they do a great job of blocking on the outside. So watch here. Here's a simple, easy catch. Look at all these guys. They got great leverage here. Great leverage on the outside here by Kyle. Nice leverage here because you know you want to throw it on the outside. And then you got coming on the outside to block as well. And now, look where Bijan catches the football. Look where he's at with all this room to make guys miss. Even though they got guys coming from the inside out, this is a guy we know in space can make people miss. He does a great job of it. And let's watch what happens as the play finishes up. Very nice job of finishing. Guys blocking on the perimeter. Bijan turns that little 1-yard pass into a 15, 20-yard gain. These are the plays that we got to see happen come tomorrow and hope they keep that going. All right, each week, this defense will be tested not only in the trenches like we saw the first weeks, but also on the perimeter where there never is a shortage of dynamic playmakers. The Commanders have some of the best skill players in the league, including a tight end. Jink, the young rookie Billy Bowman Jr. will have his hands full today in our matchup to watch with Zach Ertz. How do you think Bowman matches up with the talented tight end?
Easy. He's younger. He's faster. We're not worried about Zach Ertz right now. I think he'll be just fine.
All right, Jake, I appreciate it. It should be fun to watch it. Hopefully he locks him down, Justin, and we'll have a good one. Over to you.
All right, Shock. Well, it'll take a team effort to slow down Washington's offense, and it's that same team attitude to get players back from injuries. That's the focus of this week's Emory Road to Recovery.
We all work together as one big team, one big family. So when we have a player injured in a game or here at practice, you know, our training staff, myself, will talk to that player, evaluate that player, make sure that we're all on the same page. We know what's going on. We know what the plan will be to treat them, to help them. And then coaching staff then gets involved and has to know as well, because if it's at practice, they need to know how they're going to manage practice or what we're going to do with that player regarding that. And then in a game situation, you know, it's the heat of the moment. Things are moving fast. So if it's a player who comes out of the game and they're still on defense, for example, and it's a defensive player, then the coach needs to know because somebody else needs to go in and play in that person's position, right? If they're not going to be going back in the game for 5 plays or for the rest of the game or whatever it may be. So the line of communication has to be efficient, but, you know, also clear and safe.
Love to hear that, Doc. We're ahead on the early birds. Bijan Robinson is helping Atlanta students get excited about reading. We'll tell you about Bijan's book fair after the break.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz, on your official home for Falcons football, Fox 5 Atlanta. Early Birds has been presented to you by Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of your Atlanta Falcons.
I want them to understand that this is more important, you know, than scoring a touchdown or winning an award. I mean, this is like life-changing for me, and it might be for them as well.
Shock, this was a really cool event. Earlier this week, Bijan Robinson had a book fair at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They said a little less than 8,000 students from Atlanta public schools were there. Look at this crowd, DJ. This is incredible.
This is really cool because a guy of Bijan's kind of stature showing kids that it's okay to want to read. It's okay to show them that, hey, when I was younger, I had some issues reading.
Yeah.
And to come full circle with this moment and see so many kids there speaks volumes. Got his teammates there as well, but a really cool moment.
Bunch of giveaways. They did a read out loud with people from the Alliance Theater, a whole bunch of stuff. Very cool event earlier this week. And make sure to join the Dirty Bird Report tomorrow night. DJ, Jenk, and R. Kelly Price, 11:30 p.m., breaking down the entire game between the Falcons and the Commanders. So when you guys get together on Sunday night, what do you think is one more area you're going to be talking about if the Falcons get a win over Washington?
What happens with the receivers? We just got rid of the receivers, coach. Do they go out and make plays? Like Kelly said, talking to Kyle Pitts, Does one of those guys finally get a touchdown? I think if they do, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. Those guys having more of an active role in this offense. So it should be fun. Hopefully that happens, and we're talking about that on Sunday night.
That would be big against this Dan Quinn defense and the Washington Commanders. All right, that's it for us here on Early Birds. For DJ Shockley, I'm Justin Felder. We appreciate you joining us. Have a good morning and a great rest of your week.